Kratos never asked to be a god. He only wanted to forget. In 2005, God of War gave us a hero who didn't save the world. He was there to destroy it. Every swing of the blades of chaos was the scream of a man torn between guilt and hatred. But how did a game make us root for someone so broken? Why does the violence here feel more honest than redemption? What is the cost of glory when your humanity is long gone? Today, we're diving into this masterpiece at Santa Monica Studios, brought using all the power our old PlayStation 2 could provide. So hit that like button, as it will help me keep bringing these videos, and consider subscribing as we witness the birth of a legend in this bloody odyssey.
There is a price to pay for everything you gain.
Waves crashing on wrecked wooden ships. A storm is ripping the sky apart. As you begin to control Kratos, you can see he is not afraid of anything. The very first thing you need to do is kill some monsters. That's when you get introduced to one of the best aspects of the game, combat. It's surprising to see how many powerful attacks you get right out of the bat. Most of the same combos here are going to be used for literally the rest of the game. Many games want you to unlock almost every single thing during the course of the story, but not this one. You can slice, throw, and even rip enemies apart. During the first sections of combat, we can also see that Kratos don't give a living crap about other people. He is not here to save them. The first time I played this game as a kid, I thought we were controlling some hero while he fights monsters. But it wasn't true. And it's not until later in the game we can find more about this. Another thing the intro introduced very well was the collectibles. You will always be rewarded by going other ways in search of XP points. And for me, it is a big part of what made the game feel so huge. This game is linear, and because of a creative choice, you have no control over the camera, and the game always points you in the right direction, maybe symbolizing Kratos' determination. But most of the times, if you think from a different perspective, you would find things that would help on your journey. The fight with the Hydra was such a crucial part in the start of the game, because it's the first boss you need to finish off. You feel the power this character has, and the brutality this world has to offer. Also, it's such a satisfying death, isn't it? The way you impale this giant monster on a destroyed ship is unlike anything I've seen so far. While you are performing epic combos, the soundtrack is such an active part of the game, like every other aspect. It's always so epic and loud. It's as interesting as killing the Hydra. I always tried to understand what these tracks meant, but I never figured it out. The music doesn't just set the tone of the game, it also tells the character's story. Not just what he's doing or where he is, but in some moments, it even hints at what would happen in future games.
I haven't forgotten you. For what you did that night, this city will be your grave.
For a PlayStation 2 game, the developers did divine work in building the setting. When you reach Athens, you see a war-torn environment with people running, buildings on fire, monsters killing everyone, and you're forced to navigate through all of this. Looking back today, I'm amazed to see how creativity and passion truly surpass technology. Obviously, pretty graphics help, but when a game has soul, that becomes just another narrative tool. The fact that you can see Ares right from the start really gives you the sense of direction, a target. And I love when games do this. Here you don't know how, but you know you need to kill this god. The map of the game is so well designed that as you fight your way through the city, you get closer and closer to the center of the chaos. Ares was so far away, but now he is passing right by your side. Also, I had such a bad time trying to get past this enemy, I almost went nuts. This dude goes below the ground while you are throwing your combos and stuns you while every other enemy gets a chance to attack you. I really had to manage my health and magic right here to get past this. Maybe it was my fault for playing this game on Spartan mode. For me, the game really begins when you reach the Oracle and she sends you to find Pandora's box on the back of the Titan Kronos. But to find the path, you must locate sirens by following their singing voices. In the desert, they didn't have the tech to create something like Uncharted 3 or Assassin's Creed Origins, so they tilted the camera downward a little bit and added a layer of sand on the screen to limit visibility. It's simple, but I love the developers' artistic creativity to subvert your senses momentarily. Here you don't see much, but you need to pay close attention to the voice of the sirens, and it gave me such a mythical vibe. Tracking and killing these bitches was like a part of an ancient myth. The sands opening right in front of you reminded me of the story of Moses and made it almost biblical. Also, the scale of Kronos is just something else. Seeing this colossal being getting closer and closer while moving in slow motion is so epic. A very interesting fact about this part when you find the Titan is that originally, you were supposed to climb Kronos during gameplay. The developers designed a path where you'd have to run and climb rocks to reach the temple, but unfortunately, this part was cut because development would have taken too long. Let's pray that if this game ever gets a remake, the developers can implement some of these scrapped ideas. After 3 days of climbing, we finally reach Pandora's Temple. In my opinion, the God of War saga often uses unnecessary puzzles in other games, but here, it's one of my favorite parts. In the temple, you're tested not just physically, but mentally. You must solve puzzles while battling various enemies. Another aspect that made this game so memorable is that beyond objectives and puzzles, you often have to think outside the box to find experience points and offerings to upgrade your magic and max health. So, besides overcoming required challenges, you need creativity to tackle unknown ones. Beyond the Gorgon eyes and Phoenix feathers, when I first beat the game, I was shocked to discover another secret. A hidden room with magical sand. During my exploration, I found 2 Muse statues and had no idea what they were for. Probably nothing important, right? Right before ascending to the upper temple, Gaia's voice warns you won't return, so I explored more and was stunned to find a secret room packed with XP and upgrades that drastically boosted my health and magic. I told my friend, who'd owned the game longer than me, about this room, and he said that he never found it. Not only that, but he also didn't know you could climb the final gate early in the game. Exploring this game is incredibly rewarding, and by the end, you're grateful for extra abilities like unlimited magic during Spartan Rage or stronger Hades spirits, and I'm telling you, that's the best ability in the game. I am not a huge fan of using puzzles in video games, but these levels manage to be fun and entertaining. You have to be creative and fast to overcome those challenges, and I feel like the game wanted to make sure you would feel worthy to overcome them. No lucky strikes, no Deus Ex Machina, and no plot armor. Just pure skills and logic. The puzzles at the beginning of the game felt so out of place to me, like, why is this room full of giant boxes? Why is there a room with a button that only opens a door if someone keeps stepping on it? More than that, why does this giant monument has a door to the sewers and leads to a secret passage underground the city? They serve no purpose other than to fill in gaps between combat and cutscenes. But here is where they definitely belong. Pandora's Temple alludes to the 3 major Olympian gods: Poseidon's underwater trials, Hades' trials requiring sacrifices in an underworld-like area, and Zeus' trials with platforming. And let's not forget that damn Minotaur in Hades' section. Apparently, I downloaded the European version of this game, and I had a monster in the cage instead of a soldier. There was even a dead warrior bitching around sacrificing this monster, which made 0 sense. The developers did a really good job telling the story through environments, showing the gods' personalities through their trials. I learned after finishing the game that the Icarus wings and flight mechanics were planned for the first game. They wanted Kratos to be able to fly freely, but the idea was cut. One idea I wish they'd kept was a boss fight in Pandora's box room, a giant bird with offspring where you'd move eggs or kill chicks, classic Kratos style. That would have been cooler than this goddamned room. I cursed every developer and their families in this section, especially because I replayed the game on Spartan mode for this video. It was so stressful. Oh, by the way, it bothers me that most of the powers you get are not very useful in combat. As I said, you're pretty much set from the beginning with the best combos. My advice, just upgrade the blades, the lightning power, and the souls of Hades, and you're done. During my gameplay, I often forgot that I had these other powers, and when I tried to use them, I died so quickly. The lightning of Zeus is only useful against archers from far away. As soon as you deal with them, it's over. The Artemis sword is strong, but it doesn't have much range and doesn't have counterattacks, may be useful against bosses or single enemies. And Medusa's head requires you to finish off the enemy in a short time, and you're probably going to get jumped by every other living being around. Maybe use it only on groups of 2 or 3 enemies, and it's going to be fine. After finishing the game, I went to the Challenge of Gods, and maybe that left a taste of dissatisfaction about this game's combat.
You are still just a mortal.
Kratos gets Pandora's box, but is immediately killed by Ares. This section is one of my favorites because while the game illustrates the character's strength and hatred, surviving hell and literally climbing out of it translates his determination into gameplay. Yes, it's infuriating, but narratively, it's perfect. This part shows not only Kratos refusing to die, but how he is coming back stronger as you start to gain a tremendous amount of XP. You are able to level up so much here, especially if you stick around to kill all enemies. Around this part of the game, you already know that Kratos is a monster, but killing the same guy twice is so brutal. At least he can't die 3 times, right? One thing I noticed during the temple gameplay was that I kept hearing a bell tolling. Even though I was far from the city, maybe a hint that Kratos' time was near. Despite Kratos' strength and determination, the game made clear he needed other gods to complete his task, and this point made the second game feel so right. Kratos is now in debt with other gods, but as always, he is just a pawn, a tool to be discarded when he becomes useless. And as much as we hate other gods for that, we are able to see the very same thing in Kratos. He didn't need to kill that man, but he did it just out of pride. That's why this part suits Kratos so well. He is a monster, just a monster in hell.
Your final lesson is at hand.
After getting out of the underworld with the help of a mysterious figure, no, we do not know who he is, you finally get to Ares.
I am not the same man you found that day. The monster you've created has returned to kill you.
You have no idea what a true monster is, Kratos.
This dialogue is so dope. The first combat is easy, because it seems you are even more powerful than him, and it's a great feeling when you make him die so easily. The problem is that he created you. Your powers were given by him, and he easily gets control over you. At this scene, I made use of the XP points I had gathered. Seeing Kratos hugging his family was like seeing the last part of his humanity. And the fact that you have to protect them from yourself is so deep. It resembles how Kratos hates himself for that, and we see it in the next games too. This last part of the battle was just about who had more power and more allies. And after finally defeating Ares, you earn his place as the new God of War. This room is full of your battle trophies, and after all that, you feel like you really earned it. The catch of the story is that Kratos and Ares are so similar by now that nothing really changed for the better. It's just about favors, just about control. It is made clear in the last battle while you and your antagonist share the same health bar. We also get to see Kratos doing the very same thing in later games. I really want to bring my thoughts on other games, so consider subscribing. I also want to hear your thoughts on this game, so leave a comment, and I will see you in the next one.